So today we're taking a look at the Alfawise mechanical keyboard version 2, and I have to start off by saying this has absolutely blown me away. It's an incredible keyboard and very well built at such a low price point, but of course we're going to go into all of that later. So first of all, we're going to start off with the unboxing. This keyboard comes with the very plain cardboard box you see here. There isn't any fancy packaging. You open it up, it is very well protected inside, but all you have is the keyboard, so it would have been nice to have an instruction manual, but I'll go through the things you need to know shortly. It is a plug and play keyboard, so you plug it in and it will just work. You don't need to download any additional drivers. Now first of all, if we take a look at the keyboard, it's a very nice looking keyboard and it is also an RGB keyboard. All the keys are individually addressable LEDs, so each key is capable of lighting up in its own color. The general design does look very similar to something like the K95 Platinum from Corsair, and that was actually my previous keyboard, but I had to send that one back as I didn't get on with the speed switches and it was very expensive at £170. This one, however, is much cheaper. It does have a lot of similarities. There are a couple of differences, but it generally does have the same design. So first of all, looking at the keyboard, it's a very well built design. I've had some other Chinese keyboards that may be coming in at about $15, and as soon as you touch them, they're cheap plastic, very light, and you can feel that it is a cheap product. This, however, is a very well built product. It's a pretty heavy keyboard with an aluminium alloy panel, and it really doesn't feel like it's going to fall apart. Using it has been a pleasure, and this keyboard actually used blue switches, which are a great all-rounder for both gaming and typing alike. So general use of this, I've pretty much got no complaints at all. Just a couple of aesthetics things, but I will be covering that shortly. The blue switches I've tried with gaming and typing, and they have performed very well in both. It's increased my type speed compared to a normal keyboard, and for those of you that have never used a mechanical keyboard, if you're of the older generation, you probably will have done in the past, but they've got a very nice feel to them. You can feel yourself pressing the keys. The only thing is, being mechanical, they are much louder, so it's great at home, but you don't want to be that person in the office that brings in a mechanical keyboard and starts making loads of noise. But I'll just show you some gameplay here. The keyboard is very responsive. When I was playing the game, it was definitely a pleasure to play. You press the key, it just works. You can press as many keys as you like at the same time, and there were no issues at all. It was very good to game on. So then we move over to the type test, and I'm not a professional typist, but I just thought I'd type a paragraph to see how it performs here. So we'll just have a look at that now. So as you can see, it was nice and easy to type on, and for those of you that have never seen mechanical keyboards, you probably noticed the loud noises there. So next thing, unfortunately, there isn't an instruction manual with the device, but for those of you that want to change the RGB lighting, there are lots of different settings. So all you have to do is there's a function key on the keyboard, FN. You just press that in, and then you've got insert home, page up, delete, end, and page down, and they've all got numbers 1 to 6. So all you do is hold down FN, press these numbers, and it will switch between the different lighting modes, and each number has about 3 or 4 different presets, so you can find one that really does suit you. So now we come to one of the downsides of this keyboard. It's not a big issue, but it was something that I felt could be better, and that is the font on the keyboard. I'm fine with all of the general lettering, but if we look at things like insert, home, page up, the other numpad, F keys, there's just something there. I'm really not a fan of this font and wish they would have picked something simpler. But for me, that's not a major issue, and it's something that I can live with. The second issue I've got is the RGB keyboard. It's fully customizable, and you've got all of these lights going over it. But just above that, you can see you've got the brightness, the back, the play and pause, and the forward button, and these are lit up with blue LEDs. They don't work with the rest of the customized color, so it would have been nice to either include them in the customization or just not give them backlights, because I do feel that that can ruin it. Also, on either side of this keyboard, you do also have LEDs there, but it's sort of a rainbow effect on each side, and that doesn't change regardless of what you have your settings on. Now, this comes with two different layouts. It's available in the ANSI layout, which is USA, or the Portuguese layout, which is more an ISO version. So the main differences are, on the USA layout, your enter button is much smaller, whereas on the Portuguese version, the enter is much bigger. But as a UK user, I actually decided to go with the ANSI layout, which is the USA, and I'm actually getting on with it okay. It took a bit of getting used to for me to have the smaller enter button, as I am used to a much larger one, but after a week of use, I'm perfectly used to it now, and I probably will be keeping this keyboard to use. Another feature this keyboard has that I really like, and it also seems to be copied from the K95, is the scroll wheel at the top right. That controls your volume levels, so it's really useful and really easy to set the right volume. You've also got an extra 5 programmable keys on the top left. These can be programmed to whatever you want, be it an application and you're using something like auto hotkey, or if you're playing a game and you want some extra buttons, you can use G1 to G5 at the top. And as I said earlier, my previous keyboard was the K95, but I had to send it back because I had speed switches and they were just too light for me, and I found I was pressing buttons accidentally. The blue keys that come with this keyboard, however, are much better suited to me. I'm not finding I'm pressing buttons accidentally, and they still actuate quite quickly, so it is a perfect all-rounder. So for those of you looking at mechanical keyboards, the only thing with this is if you go with one of the gaming manufacturers like Corsair or something, they have lots of gaming software that allows you to make your own custom lighting layouts and things. You don't have that on this, unfortunately, but there are plenty of predefined ones to choose from, and with the price of this being so low, it is, in my opinion, a much better decision for those of you that don't want to waste £170 odd on a keyboard. So I've placed a link down in the description below that will take you to this page here. As you can see, the price for this is £41.82. That's the equivalent of $55, and this price is including postage. They do free international shipping wherever you are in the world, so you can purchase it for this price to your door. Now, all the information is on this page. If you want to come and have a look, you've got all of the specs down below, and one thing I really like is the 3-millisecond response speed. You can feel it when using the keyboard. It is incredibly responsive, and it's available in black only, but there are 2 different layouts. So as we've already been through, you've got the USA layout, so all of you in the US will be using that. If you are in the UK or somewhere else in Europe, you do have the choice of the Portuguese layout. All of the keys are the same on the Portuguese layout. There are just some different swaps, so I actually decided to go with the USA layout as it is closer to the UK. And I actually left mine on the UK layout in Windows, which means I just pressed the same buttons. The only key I had to add myself was \. But as always, if you do have any questions about this product or want to know more, just ask away down in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But thank you for watching the video. If you need the link, it's down in the description, and please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel.